Hello again everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a video about Mayakashi. Now before you click away, I'm well aware of how restrictive Mayakashi is as a deck and how they plaster this restriction on the deck because apparently there's too much busted zombie support out there. However, I'm here to prove everyone wrong. I think Mayakashi is a fantastic zombie based strategy moving forward. It's getting a brand new trap card and a brand new Link 4 monster coming out of Dual Overload, and I'm here to show you guys that this deck is still worth playing today. Now, we're going to start off with 3 copies of Daki the Graceful Mayakashi. This is the tuner, the level 2, that can keep summoning itself back every time you bring out a Mayakashi Link or Synchro monster. So whenever that happens, Daki summons herself back and you can climb up the ranks like that. It's integral to this strategy. To get her out, you play 3 Hajin. This guy can summon a Mayakashi out of your deck on normal or special summon. You can bring him out with cards like Mizuki, with 1-for-1, things like that. Gets all of your useful stuff out. And 3 of probably the best Mayakashi card, Yukiona the Ice Mayakashi, or Little Yuki as I like to call her. A bit cheesy, I know. Now, she can specialist summon herself from the hand or graveyard if you control a Mayakashi card. That can include a spell or trap card. And on if summoned that way, you can send any zombie from your deck to the graveyard, which means it can be your Zombie World package, it can be your Shiranui cards, it can be Mizuki's, whatever you want, it can send to the graveyard, as long as it's a zombie. We're playing 1 Shafu. This can bring a Mayakashi back from the graveyard when it's normal or special summon. However, it does negate the effects of the monster it brings back, which is why we're only playing 1. Important to note also that the Mayakashi monsters carry the restriction of you not being able to summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn after that effect, other than Mayakashi monsters. We're playing 1 Yasha. I'm heavily considering cutting this for an additional possible Baladrock or any more of the zombie cards because it doesn't really come up much. However, it can be useful in combination with cards like Yuki Musume to bring out your plays. 3 Jacobolin. This card is absolutely fantastic. You can bring it out, special summon it from your hand by discarding a zombie monster, and it has a quick effect that lets you banish itself until the end phase to bring back a zombie from your graveyard, which can trigger your Mayakashi Synchro monster's effects in your opponent's turn, which is something you really like to do. It means you can cut out a lot of the trap cards this deck was previously too reliant on, and make your plays go forward that way. It's an integral card for the strategy, and it being a fire attribute also helps quite as well. Now we're going to move on to the rest of our normal zombie package. We're playing 3 Solitaire. This card, you contribute a zombie to bring out a zombie tune with 0 defense. The one we're going to go for is Uni-Zombie. Uni-Zombie can, once per turn, send a zombie from your deck and hand to the graveyard to increase the level of monster on the field by 1 each time you do that. Both effects are a hard once per turn. It's integral to going into more synchro plays and also getting additional zombies into the graveyard. We're playing 3 Mizuki. It's pretty self-explanatory. This can trigger your Mayakashi effect, Synchro Monster's effect when you bring them back to the from the graveyard, destroying your opponent's stuff, protecting you, doing a lot of various things. And then 1 Spirit Master. You predominantly use this to get additional advantage off of Shiranui style Swallow Slash. Blech, that's a tongue twister. But it can also come in handy if you have it in the hand as well as a Shiranui Solitaire. You can bring it out and summon an additional one and make your plays go off like that. Then 1 Necro World Banshee. It gets Zombie World right out of your deck and can stun your opponent. Glow Up Bloom is very important because not only can it summon Baladrock out of the deck, it can search Jacobolin. The 1 Baladrock because everyone loves him. Not to play against him though. And then moving on to the spells, we've got 3 Mayakashi Return. This can search or dump any Mayakashi card from your deck. It's integral to the strategy. Double Winter, we're playing 2 of this. It has 2 effects. Well, it has a few effects actually. Its continuous effect makes your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack and defense for every Mayakashi monster with a different name in your graveyard. And you can pick one of its effects to use per turn. You can send itself on the field and a Mayakashi you control to the graveyard to draw a card, or you can banish it and another zombie from your graveyard to bring back a zombie from your graveyard. This is very important because you can just activate it and then summon Yuki Musume. And also, did I mention that the art is absolutely fantastic as well? Triple Super Volley. This card could probably be cut down to 2 because we are playing only 1 target in the extra deck. But the target we have pretty much is a massive blowout. It's Nether Soul Dragon, of course, because that works in combination with the zombie world there, turns everything into zombies, field or grave. Foolish Burial, it's a zombie deck. You want to get your cards in the graveyard, and it's a pretty sacky one-off. 1 for 1 because we play about 6 targets in the deck, all of which can plus you off amazingly. The one Metamorphosis, you can discard a card to bring back a Mayakashi monster in your graveyard or that is banished, and then for the rest of your turn your opponent can't target it. And then for the final 2 trap cards, we are playing 2 Swallow Slash, because if you're forced to go first, this card can result in your opponent losing 3 cards right off the bat, so very nice. Now, onto the extra deck. For the Link monsters, we're playing 2 Yuki Onna and 1 Vampire Sucker. Vampire Sucker is your generic zombie. It helps you get advantage, but you want to do this before you want to try and get it out before you use any of your effects. But the one you're predominantly going to go into is Yuki Onna. Well, it points to a synchro monster. Your opponent can't target it for attacks, and also if a synchro monster it points to is destroyed, you can target a monster on the field and halve its attack and defense. Then for the synchro monsters, 2 Garuma, the level 3. If this guy's special summon from the graveyard, Mayakashi's your monsters can't be destroyed by battle this turn. Pretty fantastic. Then we play 2 Poisonous. On special summon from the graveyard, you can have both players mill the top 3 cards of the deck. Now it's important to know that all of the Mayakashi Synchro monsters have the effect where if the Mayakashi whose original level is 2 higher than the one in the graveyard gets destroyed, you can banish another zombie in the graveyard to bring the one that's 2 levels lower. For example, if the Poisonous gets destroyed, you can banish another zombie to bring back the wheeled one, and they sort of cycle down like that. Double Tengu. This guy destroys spell or traps when summoned from the graveyard. Bear in mind, one thing that people don't like about Mayakashis is they only trigger when they're special summoned from the graveyard. That's where they have to be special summoned from. They won't trigger their effects if they're special summoned from the banish zone, so just keep that in mind. We're playing 3 Yoko, ideally the most important one because this destroys monsters without targeting. And then double Gasha, the Skeletal. This card can become unaffected by card effects if summoned from the graveyard. It's your big sort of boss monster that you want to bring out when the chips are down. And then finally, our Super Poly target, we're going to go with Dragon Necro. It's an incredible blowout, especially when Zombie World is on the field. But anyway, guys, that's been my Mayakashi Zombie World deck profile for you guys. With the new support coming out, I think it's fantastic that we're getting this stuff. Mayakashi is a heavily underappreciated zombie-based deck, and ideally it's not the most, it's not the best zombie strategy by any stretch of the imagination, but it can really disrupt your opponent and really put the brakes on them. But anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I'll be back again soon for more deck profiles and more uploads, and hopefully at some point in the near future I'll be doing a series, if I can find some computer recording equipment, to do a sort of Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro sort of dueling thing, where we take really bad decks and fill them with really expensive cards and see how well they do. Anyway, that's been Al from Exiles, and I will see you guys later.